evening. Before we get started, I just want to make sure that everybody has an unobscured view of the stage. So those of you with umbrellas, can you please take those down? We'd appreciate it. Thank you. All senior choir members should be making their way to the front to prepare to sing our national anthem. And everybody, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets right where once bursting in air came through the night as our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening, and welcome to the class of 2018 Conard High School commencement ceremonies. My name is Lindsay Tringali, and I am an assistant principal here at Conard High School. I am truly honored to be a part of the Conard community and to see the class of 2018 cross this stage and receive their well-earned diplomas. Please join me again in welcoming our senior choir members as they perform the Conard alma mater.
Oh, Conard alma mater, to thee we sing our praise. With loyalty and honor, we'll keep thy torch ablaze. Oh, may thy banner always help guide us on our way. Conard high forever, the scarlet and the gray.
Beautiful job. Thank you, choir students and Mr. Urich. Before we continue with our festivities, I have a few housekeeping notes. First, please silence all cell phones. This will help us out immensely, as I've been told they will interfere with our sound system. Secondly, well, it's a beautiful day, and I would hate to think it could change, but if it does, and the weather doesn't cooperate and the skies do open, students, you are to head to the gymnasium, and family and friends, to your cars. Water is available in the area to my right for those of you who need it. Also, for those parents who wish to run front and center to photograph your child, we would ask you to refrain, as we do have premier photography taking professional pictures today. This will allow every student an opportunity to have an uninterrupted, shining moment, and will allow you to sit back and take in the details of this special day. Pictures should be posted by tomorrow after 12 for you to peruse and to order if you'd like. Their ordering information should be on the back of the program. There are many people we must thank, because without them, this event would not be what it is today. Please hold your applause until I continue and actually finish the list to those we should be grateful. To the main office, custodial staff, and plant services staff who have worked tirelessly on the logistics, both large and small. Conard staff, security, faculty, chaperones, proctors, and student ushers who have helped to keep us all in order for this special occasion. To Mr. Scott Porter and Mr. Samuel Urich, thank you both for our sound and musical selections. A Along with this expression of gratitude, we should also thank the Conard High School choirs and music groups for preparing for this moment and performing at this evening. Thank you to our junior class ushers for their assistance this evening. Senior class advisors also deserve a special thanks for the work they have done with this class in terms of fundraising and event planning. Thank you to Central Office Administrative Team represented this evening by Superintendent Mr. Tom Moore, Dr. Rosina Haskins, Dr. Gretchen Nelson, and Ms. Ann McKernan. The West Hartford Public Schools Board of Education is here tonight. Representatives with me on stage are Dr. Cheryl Greenberg, Mr. Dave Pauluk, and Ms. Carol Blanks. I would also like to thank our Mayor Sherry Canner, as well as other town dignitaries. Thank you all for your support in our schools that helps our students succeed. Thank you to the West Hartford Police Department for their presence today, and to the Premier Photo, as well as West Hartford Community Television for covering this event. It's currently being live streamed thanks to West Hartford Community Television. Thank you to the parent volunteers and Safe Grad Planning Committee for all you do for our students, and specifically for giving our students a special and safe way to bid farewell to their friends at Conard. Lastly, parents, grandparents, and other family and friends of the graduating class, thank you for helping our students get to this point. Please join me in giving all of these groups of people and individuals a round of applause. To officially welcome you, I'd like to introduce the president of the senior class, Charlotte Elizabeth Novak.
Good evening, graduates, families, and friends. Welcome to the Conard High School Class of 2018 Commencement Ceremony. My name is Charlotte Novak, and on behalf of the senior class, I would like to welcome and thank the Central Office Administration and members of the Board of Education, as well as Conard's amazing faculty, staff, and administration, our principal, Mr. Duarte, and wonderful assistant principals, Mrs. Eustace, Mr. Hines, and Mrs. Tringali. We'd like to thank you all for everything that you have done for all of us in our short time here at Conard. You have never failed to support each and every one of us and provide incredible opportunities that have helped us get to where we are today. There are no sufficient words to express our gratitude for all that you do. I must thank all of the parents, guardians, family members, friends, and anyone else who has supported a member of our graduating class. We are so grateful for your constant love and support. Those who have helped us along the way, whether it be a reminder to work on a project, guide us on a challenging problem, or pushed us to just go in early and see a teacher, we really could not have made it to this point without you. Lastly, I would like to thank and congratulate all of my fellow classmates. Though this moment is definitely bittersweet, to most of us at least, I'm confident in the fact that we are all ready to take on the world. Conard has undoubtedly prepared us for what's to come. I know that I speak for everyone when I say I could not be more grateful for my experiences here at Conard and for the relationships I have formed in the past 4 years. I hope to take them with me for the rest of my life, as well as the incredible memories we've made along the way. Again, I cannot thank the faculty and our family and friends enough for all the hard work and commitment they've put in for us in these past 4 years. And finally, I cannot wait to see where life takes each and every one of us. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2018.
Thank you, Charlotte. Our next speaker is our principal, Julio Duarte.
Good evening and welcome parents, grandparents, family, friends, and distinguished guests to Conard High School's 61st graduation commencement. I would like to thank you for joining us this evening and for providing the support and guidance that has helped foster the success of all of our students over the years. I would also like to give a special thank you to my wife Jill and my 2 sons Tyler and Justin, who are here today for their love, support, and patience throughout the school year. Today, you, the Conard class of 2018, will receive your high school diploma. Your diploma is much more than just a piece of paper. It is a symbol of and a testament to the hard work, dedication, and perseverance that was required to attain this goal. I hope that at some point over the next few days, you take a few minutes to thank the various people in your life who have helped support you along the journey. When I first spoke to you during your freshman year, I challenged you to continue the amazing reputation that Conard has built and maintained over the years. As I stand here 4 years later, I can without a doubt say you not only met this challenge, but you have set a new bar for other classes to maintain. I hope that you know how extremely proud I am of all that you have accomplished during your time here at Conard. And it has been my honor to be your principal. You have made these 4 wonderful years filled with so many great memories. Watching your numerous remarkable performances in plays and musicals, admiring the phenomenal student artwork displayed throughout the school, watching you not only compete but excel in various sports, and having the pleasure of attending senior prom, Six Flags, and perhaps my favorite, bringing 3 fan buses full of students down to New Haven to show everyone our true chieftain pride, and all of the random acts of kindness that you helped organize which put a smile on someone's face. Without question, you have truly been an amazing and well-rounded class. I want to share a quick story with you that happened this past Mother's Day, when my kids and I decided to take my wife out to lunch. As we were sitting at a table waiting for our waitress to come and take our order, a woman walked by and sat down by herself at the table right behind us. As luck would have it, within minutes of her sitting down, my kids' patient quickly began to run out, and they started fooling around as any typical 3.5 and 5-year-old would do when they get bored. After several stern but fairly useless warnings to stop, it happened. My youngest son, Justin, slammed into this woman's back, causing her to spill her drink everywhere. Feeling embarrassed, I quickly apologized and began to contemplate if we just order our lunch to go. At that very moment, I noticed that the woman had started to cry. Immediately, I felt a pit in my stomach and became worried that perhaps she had been injured when Justin slammed into her. But before I could say anything, she turned around and started talking to my wife, Jill. And within seconds, I could see tears flowing down Jill's eyes as well. All I could think of was that I had ruined this Mother's Day for both. At this point, I really didn't know what to do, so I just started to pack everything up and figured we would go home. That's when Jill leaned over and told me what the woman had said to her. Honestly, I wasn't prepared for what she was going to say. The woman told Jill that she was sitting at this table by herself because her mother had passed away several years ago. And while she was sitting there, she was thinking about her, and she had asked her mother if she was listening to please give her a sign. And at that very moment, that's when Justin smashed into her. So the reason that she was crying was not because she was hurt, but because she was excited that she felt this connection with her mother again. And I share this story with you because for me, it was a good reminder of how important it is to just stop and listen to people's stories before coming to any conclusions. I know that as you continue on your journey of life, believe it or not, things are going to get busier. But I challenge you to stop and take the time to listen to people's stories and really get to know them. It seems that these days everyone is so quick to pass judgment on others or make opinions about the things which they are not really familiar with. One of the best parts of my jobs, without a doubt, is that I have the ability to stop and listen to your stories. The sad ones that make me want to cry with you. The hilarious ones that I can't stop laughing and can't wait to get home and tell my kids. And the ones where I'm just so proud and impressed with your strength, courage, and resilience. I often hear from adults when they know what I do for a job that they're really worried about the future. Well, that's because they don't get to hear your stories. In fact, it is because of these very stories that I know we are in great hands, and I'm extremely confident that you will help make this a better and more equitable world for all. Conard Class of 2018, thank you from the bottom of my heart for an incredible 4 years. I wish you good health and good luck with all your future endeavors. And remember that everyone has a story, so be sure to stop, take some time, and listen to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Duarte. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to introduce to you West Hartford Superintendent of Schools, and just as important, a parent of a graduating senior, Mr. Tom Moore.
A little warm out there today. You wanted the snow days, not me. It would be easy for me to speak to this class as superintendent academically. You're an immensely strong class. I love this place. I love Conard. You inherited a legacy. You lived up to that legacy. You've taken more challenging courses than any class that's gone before you. You have the highest SATs, and your future is bright. But that's not really the important message I want to give. If I could, I'd like to speak for all of you on the outside, the people that love you, your families, your parents, your guardians, your grandparents. So whenever I say I, just picture the person that loves you the most, because I hope I can speak for them. Moved here like many of the other parents when you were entering kindergarten to West Hartford, specifically to Conard, because I had known so many great kids that came through this building that I knew, that I taught, that I loved, and I watched, and I thought, I want my kids to be just like them. You've done that. You've lived up to their legacy. For that, I thank you. And in fact, Mr. Duarte mentioned that you should be thanking people. And it is important to give thanks. But as your parents, I want to speak for them because I want to say thank you. Because a lot of the time you probably think, we don't know what we're talking about and we don't know what we're doing. And you have no idea how right you are. No idea. You go, it takes years of schooling to be a doctor, to be an engineer. And then you go to the hospital and they give you to us and we take you home without knowing what we're doing. Especially if it's the first one. If it's the second or third or fourth, we only kind of know the things not to do. We don't really still know what we're doing exactly. But I want to thank you because you gave my life and our lives meaning. You made our lives what they are by who you are. It's important to say thank you for making us stand taller, because there is no greater honor than being your father. Thank you for making us laugh louder, because there is no greater feeling than to spend every day laughing with you. Thank you for making me smile wider than I ever thought possible. Happier than I ever thought I could be, just to see you. Thank you for making me work harder, with purpose, because somebody counted on me and needed me, and I never wanted to let you down. Thank you for making me think deeper about what life truly means, about what's most important. And thank you from all of us for making us better. Because we are better people for having known you. We are better people for having had you in our lives. And we are better people because we knew you were watching. And hopefully, we behaved and gave you an example that set you up ready to go off in the future. And thank you to all of them over there. My friends, my colleagues, the staff of Conard, who have helped to raise you, because we can't do it alone. And I knew I could count on them from the moment you were born. And they didn't let you down. So thank you, Conard staff. My favorite quote is by Blaise Pascal, especially timely now. The child must know that he or she is a miracle, that since the beginning of the world there has never been, and until the end of their world there will never be, another child just like you. You're it. You're our miracle. That's what we see when we see you. So it's your turn now to be that miracle and do miraculous things. We may not have always left you a great hand in life. Some of you have already overcome more than I have in my life. But it's your chance to do miraculous things, to give us all an example, and to save all of us from ourselves. I am so proud to know you. I am so proud to love you. And I am so proud to be your dad, superintendent, and a proud chieftain. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. I don't know how he does it, but every time he speaks, he just want to go out and do stuff. Really. If all senior choir members could come forward again, please.
Can we have another kid? Nope.
The choir will perform the song Hello, Goodbye under the direction of Mr. Samuel Urich.
Here we go, guys.
Say
about we give the choir one more round of applause? Great job, guys. Our next speaker is an individual who was chosen by the senior class. This is such an honor, and I know he sees it as such. For any of you who know Mr. Sikorsky, a Conard High School math teacher, you know how much he loves his students and this school. His room is never empty, as often students choose to meet with him after school and during his free periods for help, but also because they trust him. He's funny and approachable. He cares about every student's well-being and pathway to success, and does whatever it takes to support them by clearing their pathways. It's my pleasure to introduce him to you today, Mr. Sikorsky.
Good evening, everyone. Principal Duarte, Superintendent Moore, Board of Education members, fellow faculty, parents, family, siblings, friends, guests, and most importantly, to one of the strongest classes to ever pass through Conard High School, the members of the graduating class of 2018. It is my distinguished pleasure to be speaking with you today. I thank you for letting me be a part of the final day of your high school careers and the commencement of your future journeys. To say that I'm honored to represent the faculty as your graduation speaker doesn't even begin to express how grateful I truly am. You had many amazing teachers to choose from, people who I myself have been learning from and look to for advice. So for this honor, I am truly humbled, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. For those of you who I did not have in class, I am Mr. Sikorsky. I'm known by a few different names, Mr. Ski, Coach Ski, or you might simply know me as the crazy math guy who's always singing in the hallway. Since I started working here, I've attended every graduation, but this one is special because I feel like we sort of started Conard together. I love graduation day, and anyone who knows me knows that I love everything about graduation. I love the celebration. I love watching the faces of proud family members. I love watching students walk across this stage, and I love these robes. A few weeks ago, when I got my faculty robe, I did what any normal person would do. I ran upstairs to my third-floor classroom, tried on the robe, pretended to be a wizard, and played the theme from Harry Potter. Swish and flick. I don't need that anymore. I must say, though, these robes remind me of more than just Harry Potter. They remind me of my own graduation from Terryville High School. Such a short time ago, in 2010, I sat in the seats of my own high school graduation, waiting to start my next chapter as a freshman in college. Everyone's trying to do the math right now. You were all fourth graders at that time, and you've all grown since then, so have I. But really, I haven't changed much. I've evolved, maybe a few extra pounds. But I'm still the same guy I was in 2010. I was sweating 8 years ago, and I can tell you I'm sweating today for sure. Thank goodness we're not here in yesterday's 95-degree heat. But really, there's just something exciting about putting on that robe. It symbolizes the end of one story and the start of a new exciting one. As each of you today put on your red or gray robe, I hope you're able to take a moment and feel the sense of pride and the sense of accomplishment that comes with wearing this robe today. And if you haven't done so yet, please take that moment. I hope that today, as you put on your cap, you were able to take a minute and think of all the things you learned here at Conard. All the relationships you have built, all the people that have joined you on this 4-year roller coaster ride. And as you fixed that tassel, I hope you were somehow able to make it stay in one place. Or at the very least, check with the teacher one last time to make sure it's on the correct side. That's the right side. There. Come on, guys, let's go. One of my favorite parts of graduation day has actually already happened. About half an hour ago, back in the school, we, your teachers, got to spend one last time with you, the senior class. And for the last few months, you've all confidently and proudly walked the halls. But today I felt that excited yet nervous energy in the air. And whether you realized it or not, that was the last time you walked the halls of Conard High School as students. As all of you marched out today in your robes, I found myself so filled with joy for the privilege to have known you. I've learned so much from you, like where's four corners, and the fact that there's no pool on the fourth floor. I've also learned there is no fourth floor. But seriously, I have learned so much from you. The way you came to school, gave your best each day, and worked hard to meet and exceed the expectations that we had here for you in West Hartford. I find myself especially thankful for your generosity in sharing your high school experience with me. I'm finishing my 3rd year as a teacher here, and I love it here at Conard. Back in 2010, I graduated from high school as, yes, a Terryville kangaroo. I kid you not, our mascot was the Kangaroos. But in the last 3 years, you've welcomed me and you taught me something very special. You all taught me what it means to be a Conard chieftain. I find myself feeling like a Conard chieftain more and more every day. You see, a Conard chieftain is someone who follows their own path and is willing to be unique. In fact, that was on full display earlier today when you were filing into the school. Some of you spent hours last night decorating your caps. Some even bedazzled your caps with a glue gun and glitter. Some of you were as prepared as can be with an ironed robe, maybe even steamed. And others were removing their robe from the tightly packaged plastic wrapping minutes before graduating. Some of you needed assistance, probably to fix a collar or to adjust a corsage, and some of you needed to put the final touches on your makeup. Others had to fix their hair. But in the minutes leading up to our procession, it sort of felt like we were getting ready to go out to dinner. In fact, we did go out one last time together. But instead of dinner, it was to your graduation, and we did it as a family, our Conard family. Our Conard family is certainly unique, and just like every family, we lift each other up, we question each other, we laugh together, we celebrate together, we cry, and yes, sometimes we fight together. But like every family, when times seemed to be the most tough or the most real, we banded and bonded together, and we're strong together. Everyone who comes to Conard knows they will be challenged, and most importantly, they will be supported. I can honestly say that the teachers and administration here support students like no other school I've witnessed. As you leave Conard today, I want you to realize that you now have the important task of extending this support system for yourself. It's not going to create itself on its own. Creating a network of support is something that any successful person must do. We as humans must feel supported in our everyday lives. The next few years will not always be easy, and you will need support. For many of you, this fall will mark the start of the new school year. Some will go to school in Connecticut, others will travel far, far away. Some of you will be entering the service, while others might go straight into the workforce. Even the parents in the audience today will need support in the coming months. Many of you will have one less sleeping under your roof, one less plate at the dinner table. That's going to be strange. On a happier note, there's going to be a heck of a lot less laundry. It's undeniable that in the coming months, it will be full of transition for our graduates and for their families. And in times of transition, we look for personal support in many ways. Whether it came from trusted family, friends, colleagues, or peers, that support system is now changing. Regardless, I think everyone in our audience needs to know that when it comes to providing support, the strongest source can come from within. So don't worry about the things you can't control. And when times get tough, go for a run, play your favorite sport, read a book, have an insightful conversation, or listen to your favorite song. I think one of the best ways to provide yourself with support is to know who you are. You need to learn what makes you tick, how you deal with problems, and how you like to solve them. For me, that can sometimes take the form of singing a song in the shower or solving my favorite type of algebra problem. Just kidding. Not really. Nothing like a quadratic function to get the blood flowing. So in the coming months, it will be strange. No matter your choices for next year, you will be in a whole new environment. And you'll be faced with many new perspectives and people who try and tell you the best way to do things. The truth that I think I've found is that everyone does things differently. You need to find what works for you. You need to trust yourself and your ability to make decisions. And if you make a mistake, that is okay. Every decision you make is a learning opportunity, so take advantage of it. In my short 26 years, I've made mistakes, and I'd like to think that I've learned from them. So for that reason, I want to leave you with 3 simple ideas. 1, practice compassion. Be there for people, help others when they are in need of assistance. Sometimes, of course, you will need to put yourself first, but there will be times when someone needs a shoulder to cry on. You may never know the immeasurable life-lasting impact that you can have on someone by practicing compassion. 2, you should set realistic goals for yourself and plan for the future. You may not always know what you're planning for, but chance favors a prepared mind. So trust the process, trust your training, and be prepared. And finally, 3, know when to pick up your cell phone and use it. Our cell phones have placed a vast amount of information at the palm of our hand. But for goodness sake, please know when to put your cell phone down. Live in the moment, be present. Not everything should be posted on Instagram or sent via Snapchat or on Visco. I don't really even know what that is. But in fact, the best moments won't appear on any type of social media at all. But they're going to be here and here. Once again, I thank you for an amazing, challenging, and rewarding 3 years. And although we may not end up being friends on social media, that's okay. Because for me, the class of 2018 will always be here and here. Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sikorsky. Our next 2 speakers are Conard students. Annie Bugos will be our first class commencement speaker.
Good afternoon, parents, family members, teachers, administration, staff, and most importantly, the class of 2018. It feels like just yesterday we were figuring out which staircase goes to the 3rd floor and which only the 2nd. But now the future, the one that most of our parents have been bugging us about for a while now, is upon us. I'm a little intimidating speaking to my fellow peers, and although my friends say I'm pretty good at giving advice, I know no more than any one of you when it comes to the uncertainty that lies ahead of us when we leave the halls of Conard High School and step into the real world, our future. I decided that today I'd share what Conard and the class of 2018 has taught me. I want to start off with a story from sophomore year. I'm sitting in bio talking to a couple of my classmates about doing box jumps at the gym. You know, your basic biology. And somehow the entire class joins in the conversation, including Mr. Decker. We all decide that the only way to move on from this topic is to see Mr. Decker box jump the lab bench. Now, this is a pretty tall table, about 2.5 feet. We keep on hounding Mr. Decker to give it a try, and at this point he knows we are not going to give up anytime soon. So he gave in and said he'd give it a go. He starts to get prepared to do this extreme box jump. We're all encouraging him, getting him pumped up, and he goes for it. And you could tell the moment the last part of his foot left the ground, he instantly knew it was not going to end well. And man, was he right. Instead of jumping onto the desk, he kind of jumped into the desk, smashing his shins onto the side of the table. It was painful to just even hear the noise of impact. There was no doubt he was bruised. So many of you may be asking yourself, is the only thing she learned in these 4 years is to not box jump in public? The answer is no, but it did serve as a good life lesson. Although Mr. Decker might have ultimately failed, it wasn't easy to find the courage to do something that may make you look a little foolish in front of a full room of 10th graders. But that day, and other days since then, we've learned it's okay to take risks. And if things don't work out the first time we try, it doesn't mean they never will. When you have passion to succeed, you won't let one failed box jump get in the way of your greatness. We are all going off in different directions next year, and each one of us has had to work hard to get to the next chapter of our lives. Some of you are going straight into the workforce, and others will be serving our country in the military. Students are going to college or technical schools, and others will be taking a gap year. Each one of these accomplishments takes hard work, skill, and passion. No matter which of these paths you have chosen, you will have to give it your all, because as our parents and our teachers have said, nothing worth having comes easy. One of the most crucial lessons I learned is be kind. It's just that simple. Unified theater and sports have always emphasized the importance of treating people well. It's those day-to-day interactions in our school community that have taught me what kindness looks like. Walking down the hallways and saying hi to people, making sure no one sits alone at lunch, saying thank you to the library staff, meal staff, and administration. Kindness is pushing aside your own feelings in hopes to benefit others. It is my personal hope that people will leave Conard and remember to be kind. It's just that simple. All teachers at Conard and the class of 2018 have taught me what it looks like to find the driving force in your life and dedicate yourself to ultimate success. So I ask my fellow classmates to keep following your passions and take risks. No matter where you go or what you do, there's no question that life will get harder and more complicated. But it is times like these you must remember the lessons you have learned at Conard. We have learned to take risks, work hard, and most importantly, be kind. We have also learned to accept our own failures. I'm sure out of our 4 years, we've all failed a math test, or in my case, a physics test. The community at Conard and our guiding principles are something truly special and unique. And it is my personal hope that every graduate brings these aspects of Conard with them as they pursue their next challenge in life. And remember, once a chieftain, always a chieftain. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2018.
Thank you, Annie. Our next student speaker is Alex Held.
All right. That's a lot of people. All right. Thank you, Mr. Duarte, Superintendent Moore, Vice Principals, family, friends, guests, and of course, the class of 2018. It is an honor and a privilege to speak on behalf of such an outstanding and well-rounded class. Typically, graduation speeches focus on the future, acknowledging the accomplishments that each of us will achieve and the influence that we'll have on the world. But I then remembered the actions and experiences that we will apply in life were learned in our past, a past that was shaped here at Conard High School. We are chieftains. For the past 4 years, we've proudly held this title, representing what it means to be a student, an athlete, a leader, and a person of outstanding moral character. It does not merely signify the words on a jersey or a bumper sticker on your family mom van. No, it is far more. It represents a person that does what is right, someone who picks up the downtrodden and never puts them down, someone who conquers the struggles of the day and comes back tomorrow with a drive and hunger that is incomparable to the day before. These traits and attributes are ones that we will apply to whatever we set our minds to, for this is what uniquely defines us. The will and perseverance that we've applied over and over will no doubt translate into the next chapters of our lives. Whatever we choose to do, we will go at it with the utmost drive and will to succeed, for as chieftains, we know nothing less. With success also comes its ugly cousin, failure. Winston Churchill put it that success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Acknowledging failure is something that with no doubt every single one of us has experienced, whether that be in academics, athletics, social life, or simply your day-to-day routine. Failure is present. How we approach this failure is what defines us. As chieftains, we know only one way, and that is head on. Handling failure head-on and accepting the challenges before us is a task that we will be repeatedly asked to do. We will, with no doubt, handle the struggles of life in a manner that was taught to us right there in that building, with grit, determination, and confidence, for we can defy the odds and push through the struggles of life. The class of 2018 is truly a special one. The culture that we've presented is one that is rich in pride, honor, and dedication. You can't go through town without seeing some kind of Conard representation. Conard is held to a reputation, one that expects the best and most from its students. This class has exceeded those expectations and has distinguished itself in countless ways. At every sporting event, a sea of red can be seen engulfing the bleachers, a cheer section that is unparalleled to that of any other school. A camaraderie so deep and secure among its students that it would be unfathomable to disrupt it. Through academics, we've excelled in all categories: AP exam scores, SAT testing, and overall achievement. In an ever-changing world, our class has participated in movements that shake the very core of our society, movements that progress the world and its people. We proudly took part in these movements and displayed what it truly means to be a Conard chieftain. Our class has accomplished great feats and will with no doubt continue to do so in the near and distant future. If there's one thing you take away from my speech, it is that we do not forget the past. Do not forget where we came from. The experiences and memories that we have made will be ones that we will forever remember. Remember those who have helped us on our journey: parents, teachers, counselors, and of course, each other. Remember the lessons that we have learned here, and that even though our time at Conard has come to an end, we will forever and always be chieftains. Thank you.
Excellent job, Alex. Thank you. Now we will commence with the presentation of the diplomas. The names of the graduates will be read by our school counselors: Kate DeJulius, Adam Linker, Dawn Hoblet, Karen Mortensen, Kristen Mangini, and Bob Segee. During the presentation, I will ask that you, the audience members, please remain in your seats and refrain from applause until all students have received their diplomas. Again, this will give each student his or her special moment, as both the graduates and family of the graduates can then all hear all of the names being read. I will now ask the faculty to line up for the recession line. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I will now give it to the guidance counselors that will be announcing the names.
Nicole Abrahamson, Anthony Adam, Enoch Adalani, Shushank Adhikari, Alyssa Rose Alford, Syed Ali, Jasmine Alvarado, Jonathan Joseph Amara, Grace Elizabeth Andrews, Sophie Jane Andrews, Katya Araya, Kyle Edwin Armstrong, Anna Baker, Conrad Baldwin, Brooke Ann Barbeau, Delina Rose Bartolome, Spencer Bavaro, Keith Beadle, Kaylee Ann Bouchard, Lila Fallon Bell. Lauren Bello. Michael Joseph Bianash. David William Birnbaum. Sam David Borkwin. Jenna Boyd. Mackenzie Ellis Brink. Jared Thomas Brown. Malik Dominic Brown. Tanner Budamesso. Ann DeWitt Bugos. Danny Blee. Sarah Francis Bergdorf. Joseph Anthony Burnett. Maria Elise Burnett. Grace Elizabeth Burns. Maricela Caban. Lisette Cabrera. Finn Andrew Cahill. Juliana Rose Calcaterra. George Baltimore Calvert II. Summer Rose Calvert. Daniel Moses Campos. Abigail Rose Capone.
Anthony Vincenzo Carabello. Michelle Cardona. Frank Carpio. Luke Thomas Carroll. Adam Joseph Carson. Orlando Rivera Castillo. Shepard Thomas Sersasimo. Jennifer Diana Chacon. Alexander Alexandrovich Chernish Jr. Alexander Chinchilla. Matthew Chortis. Rachel Francis Chozik. Chinedu Chikora. Danielle Page Clymer. Rose Colon Santiago. Maya Concepcion. Vincent Ralph Kennelly. Delaney Elizabeth Connors. Andrew William Corcoran. Victor John Amaral Costa. Jillian Arciana Danielle Cotton Graves. Ty Kiwan Craig Jr. Lauren Nicole Cummins.
Hi, Lauren.
Yasmin Da Silva Arsenego. Benjamin Kilton Dalton. Arnold DeRocha. Akrish Nirash Daswani. Nadia Caroline Davis. John Nathaniel Davison. Ian Rafael D'Amato Mendoza. Janina Rain DeSells. Canuel Gabriel De Jesus. Ava Rose De La Cruz. Joseph Thomas DeMeo. Jada Montrese Devonish. Jaden Isaiah Devonish. Ruthann Elizabeth Dillon. Catherine Zhang Ding. Kerrigan Francis DePippo. Casey Doe. Leah C. Dollar. Deanna Henrietta Dorsey. Omari Benjamin Douglas. Graham Duncan Douglas. Tiasha Tiana Downer. Tiaja Jamisha Drayton. Ayla Aliguyun Dunwan. Eleanor Rose Duva.
Jessica Haley Edelson. Zareen Asiya Asani. Andrew James Eichelberry. Osvaldo Feliciano. Jessica Joy Fernandez. Andrew Daniel Ferrucci. Janady Figueroa. Matthew T. Fisher. Matthew Edward Flanagan. Maya Elizabeth Flores. Jaden Henry Foster. Jayla Mylan Fowler. David Freitas. Jessica Michelle Fergon. Nicholas John Gagliotti. Gabriel Marcel Garcia. Adarsh George. David Livingstone Giles Jr. Jacqueline Lee Gilmartin. Michael Edward Junji. Lila Jane Goldstein. Vanessa Chanel Goodman. Mags Ray Grabber. Thomas McLaughlin Grady. Pax Gregory. Sophia Jeanette Gruber. Cole Thomas Haggerty. Lindsay Hamilton Hammond. Daniel William Harris. Mohammed Abdullah Hassan. Jillian Lee Haverty. Tyler Emerson Healy. Alejandro Held. Ramsey Blackburn Henderson. Rebecca Ann Hensey. Rachel Abigail Hennessy. Benjamin Davies Hollerbeck. Kylan Holloway Carter. Thomas Hong. Charles Joseph Hosick. Matthew David Hutchins. Owen Matthew Hyland.
Lauren Elizabeth Jacobs. Jimith James. Troyana Jenkins. Colby Alexander Jones. Nicole Taylor Jones. Therese Catherine Jones. Christopher David Josiah. Arbindra Karki. Mary Elizabeth Couchka. Margaret Casey Kelly. Omar Ghani Khan. Alexander Kennedy Kim. Rebecca Kim. John Robert Kirkland. Catherine Olivia Kopp. Hunter Lee Cowell. Nicholas Kwong. Kijan Raj Kunver. Jamie Kurowski. Owen Theodore Kutcher. Zachary Burke Lagana. Christopher Anthony Lamarco. Jake Andrew Landry. Liliana Zabu Lapointe. Nicole Haley C. Laporte. Antu Nguyen Lee. Kevin Hong Lee. Jane Lee. Christoph Linnan. Cassidy Marie Lorenzo. Janie Rose Lorenzo. Christian Lowe. Annie Liu. Olivia Marie Lucas. Jesus D. Lunamora. Ethan Andrew Lynch. Raymond Ma. Sayong Ma. Chloe Michelle Mako. Nicholas Andrew Magliochetti. Jackson Mahaffey. Maxwell David Main. Christian Mysonet. Claire Elizabeth Majewski. Jasenia Maxine Maldonado. Maeve Colleen Maloney. Daniel Thomas Manger. Sophia Marcevic. Matthew Joseph Marino. Rachel Alina Massey. What?
The Duluths are here.
Oh, sorry. Elizabeth Marshall Delude. Emily Marshall Delude. I apologize. Jenna Marshall Delude. Rachel Alina Massey. Abel Matthew. Erin Elizabeth Matthew. Danielle Marie Mathura. Cullen Patrick McCaffrey. Colin Blaine McCarthy. Matthew McCauley. Sienna McClay. Eileen McGowan. Brianna Nicole McCreath. Diamond Alcia McLeod. Elizabeth Lucy McMahon. Francis McPherson. Ivan Eduardo Medina Ribeiro. Vittori Mametti. Roy Carter Melhado.
Thank you for
Abel Anthony Mendoza. Angelica Maria Macias Mejia. Kyle Millamans. Delan Kamar Miller. Michaela Lynn Macadillo. Macadlo. Olivia Lee Macadlo. Hussein Ismail Mohammed. Christina Marie Molina. Gabriela Magdalena Molina. Jack Thomas Moore. Diana Francesca Morales. Armella Mucha. Adriana Nace. Yash Nair. Syed Naqvi. Lauren Nicole Nosby. Natia Nash. Daniel Webster Newton. Alyssa Lynn Nguyen. Chan The Nguyen.
Hey guys.
Chris N. Nguyen. Kathy Hong Nguyen. Lucas Fu Nguyen. Tin Tommy Nguyen.
Frankie Nee. Jake Donald Nichols. Kyle Robert Nichols. Dominic David Nyman. Margaret Whelan Noble. Jennifer Oliveira Noguera. Charlotte Elizabeth Novak. Aiden Patrick O'Brien. Grant Michael O'Connor. Maeve Catherine O'Shea. Jackson Albert O'Sullivan. Lillian Oliveira. Karina Angelique Oliveras. Douglas Joseph Olmsted. Long An. Miles Onukua.
Congrats, Miles.
Cameron Paul Orentis.
Congrats, Cam.
Ryan James Orlowski.
I know, well done, buddy.
Hector Ortega Jr. Leslie Ann Marie Ortiz. Michelle Lori Outlaw. Andrea Gabriela Padilla. Nayeli Padin. Aria Pacabo. Brianna K. Paparazzo. Nayarit Pardo. Christian Paredes. John Stafford Parker. Anna Arlette Patterson. Venkata Krishna Sai Pranav Pedabotla. Madison Nicole Perez. Cole Eric Peterson. Elizabeth Rice Phillips. Zoe Harper Pierce. Lily Miriam Panette. Stephanie Pixley. Nora Elizabeth Policelli. Kaylee Marie Palasita. Ryan McKella Carolyn Preston. Lena Elizabeth Proietti. Timothy Henrik Rack. Benjamin Lee Ratchford. Trevor William Ratchford. Max Reese. Jared Justice Reisner. Matthew John Remigino. Joshua Louis Restrepo. Lisa Eduarda Ribeiro. Hector Javier Rivera Jr. Brandon Wilfredo Rivera. Brian Daniel Roach. Eric Joseph Rodanis. Juliana Katrina Rodriguez. Edwin Alexis Rodriguez. Savannah Jade Rodriguez. Janelle Roman. Nathaniel Marquise Rosado. Anaida Isabel Ruiz. Victoria Rose Santa Maria. Brianna Evelyn Santana. Mario Carl Santos. Michael Daly Schneider. Caitlin Grace Shulkin. Isabel Rose Schwartz. Max Benjamin Schweitzer. Robert C. Charon. Luke Francis Serdechny. Alejandro Serrano. Cristiano Scarby. Mariana Chamonix. Casey Miller Shane. Kelsey Margaret Shea. Madison Nina Shea. James G. Shepard. Claire K. Sherrill. Hunter Martin Signor. Lakshmana Fournier Silva. Cameron James Silver.
Timothy Barry Simplicio. Isaac Noah Sims. Manjot Singh. Emma Neve Sinek. Hunter Smith. Skylar Rose Sokolowski. Nadia Marie Sun. Brent Armand Susi. Emma Malin Susi. Julia St. Pierre. Aiden Stabnick. Yaira Ayana Stallings. Jackson Evans Starr. Christopher Lewis Stimson. Abigail Marie Swanton. Corey Joseph Tigg. Jack Brian Tapia. Giovanna Jean Tavares. Brandon Ty. Ujwal Thapa. Austin Michael Tobin. Alexandra Elizabeth Tusian. Chloe Tutan. Kelly Tran. Kiet Tran. Shannon Trong. Liza Youthkinant. Yasmin Valentin. Ashley Van. Melanie Desiree Vasquez. Nadine Mercedes Velasquez. Maggie Venora. Camila Vieira. Cameron Vines. Lauren Catherine Vitelli. Joseph Jonathan Volpe. Jewel Elise Voyer. Ethan William Wadsworth. Andrew Ian Walsh. Matthew John Walsh. Sasha Marie Winograd. No middle. Kaylee Werner. Jenna Westfall. Austin Joseph Whittle. Zachary Quinton Wiggins. Alicia Irene Williams. Chloe Elizabeth Williams. Robert Jesse Williams. Casey Wilson. Paul Owen Wilson. Camille Helena Wimpy. Joseph Thomas Wojciechowski. Corey Alexander Wolski. Eric Campion Woods. Michael Luke Woods. Dylan Michael Wu. Miguel David Yancey. Maggie Kathleen Yeza. Juan Jose Zayas. Robin Zhang.
I will now ask that the faculty line up for the recession line where the graduates will exit, and that'll be all the way straight back past the chairs. And this will be the last part of the program, and it's the part that we initiated only a few years ago. Graduates, if you remember back to freshman year, Conard faculty and staff lined up in the lobby cheering you on as you entered Conard High School for your first time. Now, as you leave Conard High School for your next stage in life, more mature and knowledgeable, we would like to send you off in the same manner. So if the faculty will make their way back, straight down the middle, past the chairs. As they make their way over there, if the class of 2018 and the families would like to applaud the faculty and staff that have gotten your children to this point, this would be an appropriate time. Mr. Duarte will now take the stage to officially present the class.
At this time, would the graduates please stand? and move your tassel from right to left. Mr. Moore, Dr. Haskins, Dr. Nelson, Ms. McKernan, West Hartford Board of Education members, and Conard High School faculty and staff. Having met the requirements set forth by the West Hartford Board of Education, I present to you the graduates of Conard High School, class of 2018. Before we conclude today's celebration, I would like to invite Roy to the stage. Roy? For approximately 180 days, he has been the voice of Conard each morning during announcements. I could not think of a better way to end graduation than to have him have the final words. Roy out, class 2018 out.
Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for being here at this time. All right, here we go. Roy out, class of 2018 out.
Woo! Great job, Roy. Go celebrate with your friends. Great job, buddy. So proud of you.